G'day throttlers and welcome back to the channel. Now this week's episode is a little bit of a recap. A few months ago I interviewed a fella called Fenndog, Matthew Fennel. Now he's doing a walk from Cape York down to the bottom of Tasmania, 4,800 kilometres or more, and he's doing it for suicide prevention awareness, mental health awareness, and raising funds for charities in the mental health realm. The reason why I'm recapping on this interview is, number one, it was a 43-minute interview, so it was really long for people to digest, so I've condensed it. Number two, I've got an extra 1,000 subscribers now that would not have seen the interview, so it's such an important message, and I wanted to make sure that as many people see this message as possible to help Fenndog on his journey. Number three, Fenndog's grown exponentially during this journey. He's been on the news. A lot of my friends in the YouTube realm have also interviewed him and supported him, and I'm really thankful for that, in particular Skid Pig and Desi from Ken Oath Clothing. But I wanted to reshare this story to make sure everyone, as many people as possible, hears his story. This is a bit of a highlight reel, but I do want you to check it out. If you want to follow the complete interview, if you haven't seen it already, there will be links in the video and at the end, so you can go and watch the 43-minute one if you want to go and check it out. But more importantly, get over, follow Fenndog, give him your support, give him your hard-earned cash if you can, spare a couple of bucks, it would be greatly appreciated. But more important, help him share his message, help him get to more people. This fella is saving lives, and he's touching lives, and he's making a difference, and he's doing more than most bloody people are out there to make a difference. So support Fenndog. Let's roll the highlight reel of the interview, and be sure to get on board with him. Thanks, guys.
So guys, what I'm about to do is I'm about to walk from the most northern point, and I'm probably going to start with wet feet, so I can be the most northern. From the most northern point of the Australian continent, which is Cape York, which is about 1,000 kilometres north of Cairns. And I'm going to wander about 4,800 kilometres. It could be a bit longer, but I'm going to wander 4,800 kilometres all the way down to the most southern point of the Australian continent, which is actually on Tasmania, Southeast Cape. And it's a pretty isolated place down there, and I'm probably going to jump into the Southern Ocean, even though it's going to be mid to late autumn when I'm there. Well, I guess the reason why I'm doing it is I've lived a very good life. I've very good parents. I've got everything I needed to live life. Possibly not everything I wanted, but everything I needed. And then stepping out of that into adult life, you know, we all learn. And I've put myself into situations that I possibly shouldn't have put myself in. Not bad situations, but just going into, you know, relationships without a knowledge of how life and love should work as we do, trials and tribulations, and through that put myself into, you know, bouts of drinking alcohol and trying to replace happy feelings with going out and partying, and then somewhat, I'm going to be raw and say, being codependent in relationships as well. So I'm in the best state of my life right now, have been for about 2 years, and what I'm about to do is my thank you and my payback to every single person that has listened to me cry, listened to me whinge, listened to me complain, also taken advice off people and not listened 5 or 6 times, but they stuck by me and they've helped push me. And yeah, this is my payback, man. This is me saying thank you very much to everyone in the world that's ever reached out to me or I've ever spoken to or given me a positive comment or thought. So it's going to take me probably about 4 and a bit months to do it. So 140 days. I only have to average about 34, 35 Ks a day to do it in that time. But I'm a bit of a psycho. I've been training. I did a marathon yesterday and I did a marathon today, and thank God he's here so I didn't have to do another marathon today, but I will tomorrow. And yeah, just training myself right now so I can make everyone proud and achieve the goal that I set out, because I'm a man that says if I'm going to do something, I do it. So, yeah. And I dragged myself out of that hole, and if I could just step forward and say now that to look back, I guess you don't realise how deep you are in depression until you actually get out of it. And that's what I'm trying to do with what I'm doing now, and realise that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can't get out of bed for multiple days at a time. And it is hard, you just can't do it. But then once you finally put things in place, like, okay, I'm going to get out of bed today and I'm going to eat breakfast. Next day you get out of bed, you eat breakfast, you eat lunch. Next day you get out of bed, you have breakfast on the front step, and then you eat lunch. And then once you start to get out of there and you get to the place and the level that I'm now, I imagine it as like you're on top of a big cliff and you're looking down and you can see your old self at the bottom of the hill and you're looking down and go, holy hell, how did I get down there in the first place, and now how did I get here? I don't know if that's a good description of what I've been through, and that's just one story. I mean, everyone's life is a journey like this, but as you start to build a stronger mind, you fall a little less further every time, and then it kind of becomes like a little staircase. Kind of looks like the stock market in a good day. What happened is Brady passed away last year, and he had a beautiful girl who he actually had bought an engagement ring for, and the engagement party was supposed to be in November of last year. With his life passing, they were a very Bonnie and Clyde relationship, so much love for each other, and she just couldn't handle it. All of us tried to reach out to her, and with the way the climate is at the moment and our limited travel and border closures, one, I couldn't get up there for his memorial, and two, I couldn't get up there to be there for her, because I believe that, you know, the boys should look after their mates' girls if they pass away, and their family, and so on and so forth. That's the kind of circle that I have. We all kind of really look after each other. I mean, everyone's mum is our mum, and father's our father, and so on and so forth. Now, with no disrespect to Zoe at all, I'd spoken to her about an hour and a half before she took her own life, and she made sure it was final. And the reason I am definitely doing what I'm doing is like, oh, man, what I'd love people to realise is that no matter how hard life is up here, it's so much better up here, because we don't know what's beyond this life. We really don't. There's speculation, but life is so much better above ground, no matter how hard it is. Yeah. And what I really want people to realise is it does get better, and if you choose to make it better by listening to other people, and you've got to listen, but you have got to make your own choices. No one can use you as a marionette and make you do that, because that wouldn't feel the same either. Yep. But you've definitely got to make the choice and the step forward to do it yourself. Yeah. I've got a little thing I think about, and I think about it as learned behaviour, because if we were to step into the Amazon to a community, or in Papua New Guinea to a community that hasn't had access to the social media and the media, I'm not saying it's evil, but it has to be learned behaviour. I really don't think that you go to a community like that and you've got kids had a bad day, they didn't catch the wild boar, or they had a bad day, they didn't collect enough fruit, or it's a bad season, the weather's bad. They're not so depressed that they want to end their life. They go, oh, this is life. Yeah. I just have to weather the storm. Yep. And the fruit will be fresh next month. The pigs will be back. There'll be more fish in the water. I have people say to me, like, I'll be walking down the street and I'll just see someone that I don't even know. I'll make eye contact. I'll give them a wink and a smile, like, g'day mate, how you going? And the mate beside me go, do you know that bloke? I'm like, no, I don't know him. He goes, well, why do you say hello to him? I'm like, why not? Yeah. So that guy that day may have been having the worst day of his life, yeah. And whether he questions if I'm a weirdo or not, I've said hello, yeah. He can't help but smile back at me. Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard when someone's laughing in front of you, yeah. To not laugh and not smile. Right. I just don't know, I'm smiling now and you've got a smile on your face.
I really appreciate your time. I wish you all the best again, guys. Please get on, follow him, tell him I sent you, so he knows where you've come from. And if you've got some spare cash, please dig in and help out, because you know it's going to a really good cause, and a cause that's really close to my heart as well. Mate, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
And all the best on the walk, mate.
Man, thank you so much, Dad. Yeah, the money is important, but the sharing is so important.